Hey everyone, Daniel from Twin Bytes with another tutorial for you. This time I'm going to show you how to free up some space on your C drive and give your computer a good cleanup with Ccleaner. I've got it installed already and it runs down in the system tray. I can just click on it right from there and it opens it up. It will prompt you from time to time letting you know when there's a bunch of space that you can free up by running it, but there's also a few other things you can do here. So once we open it, we just click start and then it prompts you if there's any programs that are open, so you can either close them manually or hit the button to close them automatically here, or if you prefer to keep those ones open and just skip that, then uncheck it and it will skip that program. It is a good idea to close everything so it can give your computer a good proper cleaning. Once everything's closed, it does a quick check. And this is with the free version. Of course, it always gives you a little frowny face that it's feeling under the weather, and it gives you a summary here of some privacy trackers which you can click to view, and it tells you cookies, history, temporary internet files, things like that. You also got the space of how much junk files, and the junk can be located in your recycle bin, temporary files that are stored throughout your computer, and other things. So we'll go back to the overview again. If you had the Pro Edition, it can look at startup apps to disable and apps to update, but we have other programs that we can use for free for that as well. And this is not something that you would be changing all the time for disabling programs. Really, it's just constantly removing trackers and temporary files, and then for the security side of things, it's a good idea to update things. We're just going with the cleanup, so we're going to click make it better, and it runs through pretty quick. And then you got a bright sun with a smiley face. Everything is great. So don't worry about the Pro Edition for that unless you really would like to, then you can go ahead and do that. But it's a good idea to check out my other videos that talk about security and updating programs. So you can go into a custom clean and you can look at in here, there's a bunch of things that you can check on and off. So you can turn things on if you want to have those cleaned up, or disable things that you want to skip, and you can scroll through the list and see. But having everything on, if we click analyze, it runs through it and it gives you a list of things of how much space is being used by what and how many files can be removed. So after the analysis is complete, you can hit run cleaner and it asks you to confirm that it's going to delete those things from your computer, and it runs through it fairly quick, and that's done. They do have a driver updater thing on here, but I don't always like using these driver updaters from any program out there. Windows also tries to update drivers for you, which most of the time screws things up on people. So it's best to get the driver from the manufacturer of your computer. So if you have a Dell computer, for example, you would go to support.dell.com, or if it's an HP, they have their own site. Acer, Asus, all those companies have their own websites where you can download drivers for. If we look at the registry, it also looks for problems in here. So you would click on scan for issues and then review selected once it's done scanning through here. When it's done scanning, you can scroll through and see the list of different problems. So here there's missing DLLs, and then here there's some other stuff. If we make that a bit bigger, there's invalid or empty file class, ActiveX COM issue, application paths issue, installer reference, firewalls missing MUI reference. So there's a number of different issues in here that it will pick up on. And so what we'll do is just click on review selected issues. Do you want to back up the registry before making changes? It's always a good idea to do that. And then fix all selected issues. and they're done just that quick. You'd hit close and we're done cleaning up the registry. There's other tools in here as well. So this here gives you a list of programs where you can uninstall a program. You've got the software updater, which you can go in here and look for updates. Browser plugins that you can manage right from here. On the disk analyzer, you can scan to find out what type of files are using up all the space on your disk. You can choose what you want to search for, so you can check everything off if you want, but that'll take longer. You can choose which disk if you have more than one, and then click Analyze. When it's done analyzing, you have a little color-coded chart up here at the top that breaks down each category, and if you hover over it, it tells you how much is in there. You also have another type of chart in a different view down here that you can scroll through, so then you can see what's chewing up most of the space. You can also click on any one of these things to narrow it down. If we want to click into one of these things and just see what's taking up all this storage space, then you can go from here and browse through to see what's taking up the room. And you can even select items from within here like this. Once you selected a few things that you want to handle, you can right click, and there is a few options here to deselect or select, but you also have to delete the selected files that you have right there, save it to a text file, or you can open the containing folder and manage it right from there. If we go into the duplicate finder, this will help you to find duplicate files on your computer, and it can match it in a number of ways depending on how you select it here, to look at the name, also comparing the size and the modification date, and it can even look at the content. You can tell it to ignore certain attributes here as well. Also the size, having a minimum or maximum size, and again choosing which folders or drives that you want to look in. From here, then you would just click search and it will find duplicate files. You can see that I've got a couple here already, and they're in different locations, and it gives us the size and the date when it was created, but they are the exact same name. So you are going to find a bunch of duplicates for certain things, and that is going to be normal. As you can see in my own system here, it's just the way that it configures on your computer. So certain type of system files like this are going to be normal. So maybe during your scan you might want to ignore system type files like a .dat, .sys, .tiff. Maybe you want to look for things that are executable files, or possibly even JPEGs and that sort of thing. System restore is what allows us to create and remove system restore points, which Windows does already, but this is just another way to manage things in here. And then there's a drive wiper utility that can delete or wipe out free space only, or the entire drive, which you got to be careful because it's going to delete all the data on your drive if you choose that option. So if you are formatting a drive and then you want to make sure that it's completely free from any data recovery attempts, then go ahead and do that. Make sure you don't choose your C drive, because then you could end up losing everything. If we look in the options, you can see that there's a whole bunch more options that we can get into here as well, but this can turn into quite the lengthy video. So you can browse through this and see what options you have here, including, excluding, setting up schedules. But as you can see, for some of these things it requires the paid version. So if you wanted to automate a lot of this, you'd have to purchase it. So it's a good idea if you want to try it out for free first, see if you like it, and if you do, then go ahead and pay for the upgrade. And then down at the very bottom is the upgrade, so you can see what you get for the free one versus what you pay for. But I like the free one. It works well for me, and in combination with the other tools that I use, it works very well. So if you found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.